minutes just to let people gather. You're invited to just find a way that feels comfortable to sit. Gather something comfortable to sit on. We're going to be sitting for a while. You might want some creative materials around you. Gather whatever you can find. I know as we are all in home quite a bit right now, sometimes you just have to find the materials that are around you and that are available. Grab a cushion off the couch to sit on. Grab some crayons, colored pencils, markers, whatever you can find around the house. Any kind of paper or your kid's drawing tablet or a journal. You just want a few things around you to make yourself comfortable. You might even want something to drink, a glass of water or tea, something cozy. This is your time. This is your time. So yeah, as we're getting set up here, I'm just letting a few people come on, and this is going to be a little different experience. I'm used to doing these groups in my office space. So we are opening this up to making it a lot more convenient for people to gather for this group, making it live for the first time. So we'll just see how this goes. We'll play it out. I won't really be able to comment, or the camera's a little far away so I can't even see posts, but if you have any questions for me afterwards, please don't hesitate to comment in, but you don't have to. It's totally up to you. We'll just have it available, and then you can use it as you feel comfortable. So yeah, welcome, and thank you for joining me tonight for Healing Arts Yoga. For those of you who are not familiar, my name is Molly Douglas, and Healing Arts is the name of my private practice, and Healing Arts Yoga is my integration of yoga that has been combined from trauma-sensitive yoga training, hatha yoga, mindfulness-based stress reduction, and creative visualization, as well as art therapy. So I am a board-certified art therapist and licensed mental health counselor, and I am also a Reiki practitioner, level 1 and level 2. So this integration of body, mind, and now energy or spirit has really created the holistic approach that I like to include in my one-on-one sessions with clients, and also in the yoga experiences. This may be a little different, having it be virtual rather than face-to-face, but I am sending that energy out to you and to your space. So yeah, we can just take a moment as you are finding a comfortable place to sit, finding a quiet space in your house, allowing yourself to just be from wherever you've been today and whatever you've been doing, and allowing yourself just a few minutes to bring out your drawing materials or your colored materials. And I like using creative expression as a way to just notice. There is no right or wrong way to do this. This is not an, oh my gosh, I don't know what to draw kind of moment. This is what I like to call heart work. It's coming from the inside and not the outside. You're not making it for anybody else but you. It's using the creative, it's using color, line, shape, and form in order to express and explore any sensations you're noticing in the moment. So it might be thoughts or feelings or body sensations, invited just to be at a place of observation with yourself, a place of curiosity, and choose a color that stands out to you the most of what's coming up for you or what you're noticing, maybe even just noticing where you're feeling it in the body. And just give it a shape. This is not coming from the head lens, it's not coming from here. It's coming from just an awareness of where you're feeling it in the body, and then moving that out into a shape, a line, a color, with no expectations of outcome. It doesn't have to look like anything. It doesn't have to mean anything to you. It's just allowing it to change, to shift from being on the inside to the outside. So it's just an observation. And sometimes what can be easier is creating a circle on your page. So sometimes we get these worries about a blank page and not knowing what to draw. If you create a circle on your page, a mandala, it allows you to just kind of maybe focus on that space and just allowing color and line to move out however it wants to. And we'll have an opportunity at the end of the session to do this again for just a few minutes. But it just allows you some awareness around what's coming up for you or what you're feeling. And if there are no words for it, it's okay. They can just be color, line, shape, form. Without judgment, if available, just awareness. We'll just take a few more moments, moving out whatever wants to move. And then we'll just set it off to the side as you feel ready. And maybe there's a few words that come up. If that's okay, you can write the words right on the paper. Like I said, this is just for observation. It's not for anything else. So in your own time, as you feel ready, you're welcome to just put your art materials over to the side. Taking a moment, finding yourself back to your mat, making yourself comfortable, finding a way to sit that makes you feel comfortable. Sometimes I like to take off some jewelry. Take a moment noticing how you're seated on your mat. You might even just let your eyes bring yourself into the room or the space that you're in. Noticing the sights around you, noticing what your eyes see. Just noticing from a place of observation any colors that are standing out to you. Any textures or patterns. And you might notice what your hands feel. Going with the sensory, when we bring our senses to the present moment, it allows us to be in the here and now. So we're just inviting ourselves from wherever we've been and whatever we've been doing today to just be right here, right now, for the next hour. And we just start with bringing the senses in. So noticing what the eyes see, noticing the textures or temperatures around you, feeling the mat beneath you. maybe even the temperature, texture of the floor or your clothes. You might even begin to just feel any sensations in the body as we become aware of the body, aware of the breath. And I invite you just to gather all of yourself back to the present moment from where you've given your time, your energy today. We can give our time and our energy and our thoughts to so many different places right now with everything that's going on. So just inviting yourself to call back all parts of you, back to center, back to your breath. Wherever we've given our time, our attention, our thoughts, our energy, it takes us away from our center. So if you have to do that a few times, you can do that, calling in all parts of you back to center and back to your breath. And you might even gently close the eyes or lower the gaze of the eyes, bringing in sense of sound, noticing the sounds around you. Noticing what the ears hear. You might become aware of sound outside the room. And you might bring your awareness a little closer in to inside the room. You might even begin to notice the sound of your breath. Breath moving in and breath moving out. However it chooses to be is okay. There's no right or wrong way to breathe. In and out the nose or in and out the mouth is your choice. And if you'd like, you can place a hand on the heart center, on the body, or you can let the hands rest down at the side or heart center, or on the lap, wherever they feel best. Bringing your awareness to the eyes, continuing to keep the eyes closed or the gaze lowered. And you might even just let the eyes gently move from the left side to the right side, creating an infinity sign, sort of a sideways figure 8, letting the eyes kind of move up and around and over, coming over the bridge of the nose and under the other eye, around the outside, over the brow bone and over the bridge of the nose. And just continuing to keep that loop as you pass back and forth over the bridge of the nose, just letting that awareness settle. And it's okay if thoughts come up. You're welcome to just notice them. And then bring yourself back to the breath. Letting your eyes continue to move from the left side to the right side, creating some gentle bilateral stimulation before coming to rest right at center, over the bridge of the nose. And you're welcome to pause here. Noticing any sensations along the tip of the nose, the nostrils, with each inhale and each exhale. Continuing that awareness down through the throat, maybe even the roof of the mouth or the soft palate. Just feeling that breath move in and breath move out. Noticing any sensations. If anything's unpleasant or uncomfortable, you can shift, you can move, or you can move to whatever breath feels best to you. We're just noticing from a place of observation. You don't have to fix it unless it feels really uncomfortable or really unpleasant. Inviting that awareness to continue down from the roof of the mouth, the throat, down to the shoulders, moving down from the head to the body, the shoulders, the arms, and the hands. Noticing where they feel best to you, either resting on your lap or in your lap or at heart center. Feeling the rise and fall of breath around the chest, the lungs, the rib cage. And you can even place one hand or both hands over the heart center. Noticing any sensations. Breath moving in and breath moving out. Just becoming aware of breath. Anytime we become distracted or our mind takes us into what we have to do next or where we've been, as soon as you notice that your mind has traveled, you can just bring yourself right back to your breath. That is your present moment tool, your light tool, that always connects you back to the present moment. Just noticing the breath. Again, however it chooses to be is okay. Noticing any other sensations around the chest, the lungs. You might even feel the inhale of breath on the outside of the rib cage as you inhale. You might feel yourself gently lengthening up as you exhale. Inviting that awareness to continue down to the abdomen. Becoming aware of that core center, those group of muscles right around the navel. You can gently hug those in towards the spine just to get an idea for where those are. Those muscles that allow us to sit up comfortably tall. This is our core center, our place of our personal strength. So just noticing any sensations. And you're invited to let that breath move all the way down to the abdomen and the diaphragm if available. So as you breathe in from the nose or mouth, you might imagine or sense your whole torso expanding like a balloon, where when you're breathing in, the whole torso fills up with breath, and as you exhale, it contracts. So it's a little bit opposite of how we're used to breathing. Breath moving in and breath moving out. This is called intentional breath. And as we allow ourselves to breathe these deep 3 parts breath, this breath that moves in from our nose or mouth, down through the throat, down through the heart center, to the abdomen and the diaphragm, and then back up. It allows us to move out of fight or flight. It allows us to move out of that part of our mind or part of our brain that has us in our fears, our worries, our doubts, our insecurities, which are so heavy and strong right now with the unknown and how things are and all the changes that are shifting our life. So this breath allows us to have a vacation from that for a while. Just allows us to move out of that and into rest and digest. It allows oxygen to move to the prefrontal cortex, where into our logic and our reasoning, and into our rationalization. It allows us to connect in with our places of calm and bliss and awe and joy and magic and wonder. So it sends blood flow to this place in our brain and this mohawk strip that connects our right and left hemispheres that run along the top of the head. It allows us to just be, to have some distance from our emotions. It allows us to be in a place of curiosity, of just awareness without reaction. You can even focus on some intentional breathing. Intentional breath is that deep breath, but you can even do that with ratio breathing, by breathing in for a certain count, holding for a count, and breathing out for a count. This is sometimes called triangle breath or square breath. So you might imagine a triangle out in front of you and choose a number that feels right to you. So a 4-4-4 breath could be breathing in for a count of 4 as you go down one side of the triangle, holding for a count of 4 as you go across the bottom, and then exhaling out as you come up the other side. And the triangle is a beautiful representation of the human form. So this is your breath, this is your triangle breath. So we can practice this a few times just to notice any observations. So as you feel ready, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, good, and breathe in, 3, 4, hold, 3, 4, and exhale, 3, 4, good, and we can go again, and breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, and exhale. And we can go one more time. Just breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, and exhale. And you can use whatever breath feels right to you, whatever feels grounding or centering for you. You might choose a larger number, or you might choose a smaller number. The other one that feels really comforting and can really draw you down into the body is the alternative nostril breathing, or I call it the sunrise sunset. So you're holding one side of your nose as you're breathing in, and then you're exhaling out that side of the nose, and then you're breathing in that side, and then exhaling out the opposite side. So it's kind of like a rainbow where you're just going over one side and then back the other. You can place 2 fingers on your forehead and use your ring finger and your thumb to switch breathing out each side of the nose, or you can just use your index finger and your thumb and switch. So whatever feels best to you. So you can follow my guidance, which will be backwards, so I won't say left or right, but Just breathing in one side and holding. So breathing in. And then use your thumb to hold and exhale out the other side. And then breathing in that side. Hold and exhaling out the opposite side. And breathing in. Exhaling out. Breathing in the same side. And exhaling out the opposite side. Breathing in that side, that same side. And exhaling out the opposite side. Breathe in that same side. And exhale out the opposite side. And we'll do one more round. Breathing in, same side. And exhaling out the opposite side. Good. So you might just pause a moment, noticing any sensations. Sometimes that alternative nostril breathing can really be centering and grounding for some right away. It's a really quick tool to use to just move out of the headspace and into the body. And for some, maybe it's not. So there's lots of different options. So just go with whatever kind of breath feels best to you. That's the beautiful thing about this type of yoga practice. This is your yoga. This isn't yoga for anybody else. This is your yoga, and you do what works best for you. The intention of this practice is to find what feels pleasant to you, what feels comfortable to you. If anything doesn't feel comfortable or feel pleasant, you always have the choice to do something else. You have the choice to move out of the form and into something different. This is empowerment yoga, where you get choice over what feels best to you. So I just provide guidance, but ultimately you're doing what you need to do and taking action on that. So just continue to be with whatever breath feels pleasant to you, bringing your awareness back to that core center, those group of muscles right at the solar plexus, inviting that awareness to just notice any sensations around the chest, the lungs, the rib cage, the abdomen, letting that awareness continue down to the lower abdomen, into our sacral, into our womb space. And it doesn't matter if you identify as male or female or neither or both or have the womb space. It's an energetic place where we hold energy, where we hold creation, where our creative ideas manifest from. But this is also a place where fear really gets blocked. We have a lot of feelings and emotions that are held in this space as well, which can block creativity. It can block that creative flow. So just noticing any sensations, again, from a place of observation, or just feeling breath. If you want to go back to just noticing breath, you can do that too. Becoming aware, any sensations around the hips, the lower back, all the way down to the sits bones, to the root center. Feeling your legs and feet beneath you. Feeling your root center, feeling yourself grounded onto your mat, and your mat connected to the floor, and the floor connected to the earth. invited to pause here a moment, just feeling yourself from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, right here, right now, in this moment. Feeling yourself grounded to your space that is just for you. With your breath, and just breathe. So if you'd like to take this a step further, you're invited to imagine, sense, or visualize roots extending down from the base of the spine and out each foot, as if you are this luminescent tree or flower, and just inviting those roots to move as far down as they want to go, down into the mat, down into the floor, down into the earth. And just inviting those to go all the way down, layer by layer by layer. Letting those roots twist and turn and vine, knowing that those roots anchor you here, connecting you here, right where you belong, where you don't have to be anywhere else. You don't have to be doing anything else. You're invited to let those roots go as far down as they want to go, until you get to the heart of the earth, to the heart or center of the planet. You might imagine, sense, or visualize this heart as a luminescent crystal or stone, full of life source energy, knowing that your roots connect your heart to the heart of Mother Earth, full of that life source energy, that nutrients, that nourishment to recharge, re-nourish, and fill up your cup. So you're invited to let your roots connect in whatever way feels best to you, to the heart of the earth, this luminescent crystal or stone, vibrant and full of color and life. Whatever it is, it's perfect for you. So you're invited to breathe in, up through the roots, inviting that life source energy up to your heart, bringing that up. And you can even gently scoop that up and bring that up, or you can just imagine or sense bringing that all the way up to your heart center and expanding that out into each arm and out into each hand, which are extensions of our heart center. So breathing in light and energy all the way up and all the way through, clear to the top of the head, to the crown center. And just feeling that sprinkle out around and down. So knowing that you can always recharge and re-nourish and fill up your cup anytime you need to nourish yourself, just by connecting your roots into the heart of the earth. But you can also send down anything that you're holding on to, anything that distracts you from where you want to be, any thoughts or feelings, anything you've picked up from other people, places, social media, and you can just recycle that back down to the earth, knowing that as you send that back down, that's something Mother Nature can take care of. She's really good at recycling. So you might notice that as a sensation. And if not, that's okay too. You can always just take a gentle scan from the top of the head to the tips of the toes, and anywhere you're noticing anything that is ready to release, to let go, or just doesn't serve a purpose in this moment, you can invite it to move out or move down back to the earth and transforming into something new whenever it's time. We're breathing in light and energy and exhaling out any tension, stress, or worries. Breathing in light and energy, you're invited to bring that up and around you, letting the arms come up overhead. You're welcome to let the hands come in either sort of a cup shape or letting the palms come together, connecting to whatever life source energy above feels pleasant to you. Any divine consciousness, any universal love, any ascended holy masters, God, goddess, whatever feels right in your vocabulary. The sun, the moon, the stars. You're invited to see that as a luminescent ball of light above you and just pulling that down or inviting that to move down through the top of the head, behind the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the throat, the heart center, and through the back of the shoulder blades, expanding those wings and radiating out through the hands. You can do that a few times if you want, or you can just focus on the movement, inviting the arms up overhead, bringing the palms together, and moving down, sort of creating this circle, this energetic field of light around you that is just for you. Taking a moment and just noticing what that feels like. Feeling supported below you, above you, and all around you. That this is your space. And sometimes we really need our space right now. If we're sharing space with others right now at home or any adjustments, but just feeling this as your space. For this moment that is just yours, where no one else is invited unless you invite them. Then maybe just notice what it feels like to breathe in this space. That this is your light bubble, your energy field that is just for you. Where you can just be. Breath moving in and breath moving out. And you can continue to breathe and to move from this space as we create some gentle movement with our yoga practice. And continue to find whatever breath feels best to you from this space. You're welcome to start by letting the head move over towards the shoulder, noticing any sensations on the opposite side. With each inhale and each exhale, and in your own time, finding your way to the other side. You might notice that one side feels different than the other. It's okay, just noticing, only stretching as far as feels comfortable to you. We have different energies on different sides of the body. Letting the head move back to center and towards the chest. You might create a gentle rocking from shoulder to shoulder. Noticing any sensations along the back of the neck, back of the head. If you'd like, you can bring in sensation and touch using the fingertips, creating a gentle touch or gentle care along the back of the neck, anywhere there's tension or tightness. This is the bridge that connects the head to the body. It can hold a lot of stress, or this is one of the main places we hold a lot of stress. Inviting that awareness to move up. Creating some gentle circles or pressure that feels pleasant to you. All the way up to the top of the spine, to the base of the skull. It's the occipital ridge, that divot that's in the neck, and then sort of this ridge or this base that runs along the back of the skull and out behind the ears. We have pressure points all along here that can feel tense or tight or sore. So just noticing, sometimes some gentle pressure can feel pleasant. And again, this doesn't have to be guided from a headspace of thinking. This is just intuitively letting the body, or allowing the body to just guide to whatever feels best or pleasant to you. Allowing the fingers to move, or just notice or sense whatever feels pleasant to you. And you can create that awareness all the way up behind the ears. We have all these pressure points behind the ears, kind of where the glasses sit, or sunglasses would sit, above, on top of the ears, and all the nerve endings along the ears. You might create some gentle touch that feels comfortable to you. Our ears are connected to our thoughts, and if you're like me, if you're analytical, if you're a thinker a lot, or if you just get your headspace full a lot, the ears can feel so comforting. To just notice, to create some gentle touch. You can even gently plug your ears, noticing how that can block out thoughts. You might even practice breathing in and out the nose, creating an ocean breath. Where each inhale and each exhale mimics the sound of the ocean. You could find this pleasant. Or you can continue to explore in whatever way feels best to you. From front of the ear, moving down where the upper and lower jaw connect. You might even open the jaw or soften the jaw, letting the fingertips just guide. We can hold a lot of tension and tightness through the jaw, of holding back our truth, of speaking our truth, of being able to self-express. So noticing any sensations around the throat, glands that run down the throat, the ears, or even the tension or stress can run down to the jaw or up to the temples. So again, just letting the fingertips guide wherever they're drawn. Exploring, noticing anything that feels pleasant, and just go with that. Breathing into anything that feels pleasant along the cheekbones, the sinuses, the eyes, between the eyebrows, our third eye, our place of insight, our intuition, just letting that guide all the way up to the top of the head, to the crown center. And you can use your fingertips or fingernails to notice any sensations along the top of the head. It might even be sore. This is where we connect to our higher self, to our insight and our guidance, our wisdom, our higher wisdom. Just noticing, just observing, and if your mind takes you into a thought or takes you into a story, whenever you notice your mind has traveled, just bringing yourself back to your breath, back to just noticing any sensations. And then once you feel ready, letting the hands find their way back to resting on the lap. You can continue to stretch through the shoulders. You might even feel like shaking the arms out a little bit, creating some gentle shoulder shrugs. You might even be getting some energy going on. It might be getting a little warmer. This is our energetic flow moving. And create some gentle shoulder shrugs, letting the shoulders move up towards the ears and back down. And you have lots of choices. You can move one at a time, or both, or you can alternate. And you might notice things happening with your digestion. When we have energy that's moving through our body, it makes different sounds. We might sneeze or cough or burp, crack or pop. This is moving out that stuck energy. If you want to make the movement a little bigger, you can always place the hands out in front of you, bending out the elbows and circling with the wings. And again, reversing that whenever you feel ready, moving in the opposite direction. If you want to make the movement a little bigger, you can extend the whole arm. Again, just notice what you feel like. Notice what feels right to you. You might experiment with opening and closing. Noticing what it feels like to move the whole arm. You can move both arms up overhead, folding gently at the hip and walking the hands out in front of you. If anything's uncomfortable, you always have the choice to shift and adjust, whatever does feel better to you. Walking the hands to the side. You might experiment with lifting one hand up, or you can keep both hands down, just noticing what feels right to you. You might even extend that all the way up and over in a seated triangle form, letting the fingertips move towards the ceiling or the cosmos. If you'd like an option for your head, you can gaze up towards your hand if you'd like. Breath moving in and breath moving out. Noticing any sensation in the hip, all the way up to the fingertips. Bringing yourself back down and over to the other side as you feel ready. And again, one side may feel different than the other. It may want to stretch in a different way, and that's okay. Do what feels right to you. Again, you can have both hands down, or you might gently lift the inside arm in whatever way feels best to you, creating a stretch that feels pleasant. Noticing any sensations through the rib cage, the hip, all the way up to the shoulder, the hand. Breath moving in and breath moving out. Eventually finding your way back to center. You're welcome to continue to stretch through the spine, creating some gentle cat and cow forms, seated. Letting the back arch as you lift the chin and tailbone, arching through the back, and then reversing that, rounding the back, letting the chin and tailbone come down. Even move these out to the side, creating some gentle circles or mandalas. We have a lot of shift in energy moving through our root and our sacral chakras right now. Our chakras are energy points in the body where we hold feelings and emotions. They're also connected to our organs in the body. But we are shifting and moving, especially when fear comes up and worries. A lot of that is coming to the surface to be noticed in order to be let go. So we can hold a lot of tightness and soreness right now in our lower back and in our hips. So just moving in a way that feels pleasant to you. You can do that through cat and cow and seated. You can even move that up into tabletop if you're ready to move. Finding what works best for you. Creating some gentle circles. If you want to move that up into a tabletop form, you're welcome to let the knees rest under the hips and the wrists under the shoulders. Creating some gentle movement. Breath moving in and breath moving out. If you'd like to create some breath with movement. One option is to breathe in as you come up and to exhale as you round and come down. But you can do whatever feels best to you. And then at any time you feel ready, you can always make your way back into child's form by sitting back on the heels, letting the chest rest on top of the legs or in between the legs. You can let the forearms rest on the mat, or you can let your head rest on the mat. Whatever feels best to you, where you don't have to be doing anything, where you can just be. Just you, just your breath. So you might take a few moments finding what feels best to you. Letting your head rest, or you can use your fist to support your neck and head, stacking one fist on top of the other. But this is a form where you don't have to be doing anything else but just breathe. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, if anything feels painful or uncomfortable, you can always ease yourself up out of the form and into something that does feel better for you. But you don't have to be doing anything else. You don't have to be anywhere else. Where all your needs are met enough for you to be right here, right now. And if your breath takes you into a thought, as soon as you notice that your mind has traveled, it's okay. You're just welcome to bring yourself back. Breath moving in and breath moving out. Just allowing yourself this time and space that is just for you. Whenever you feel ready, taking your time, you're welcome to gently lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Finding your way back up into tabletop. Moving down to seated. Finding your way to sitting on your mat that feels comfortable to you. We'll go ahead and we'll stretch out the lower half of the body. You're welcome to place one leg out in front of you and letting the other foot rest on the inside of the outstretched leg. If you need additional comfort or support, you can always use a pillow tucked up under the bent knee. You can choose to stay here, or if you'd like to make it into a fold, you're welcome to let the hands move out in front of you, letting that heart center move towards the outstretched leg, letting the hands rest on the leg or beside the leg or on the foot. Noticing what muscles you don't need to be using or don't have to be using. Or just noticing any sensations along the back of the leg. Maybe even where the tension releases with each breath. Breath moving in and breath moving out. Noticing any sensation in the back of the leg, along the lower back, or anywhere else in the body. And then eventually, as you're ready, finding your way back up. You're welcome to bring that outstretched leg in, letting the soles of the feet come together. And you can bring them closer to the torso, or you can have them further away, whatever feels best to you. You can let the hands rest on the ankles or on the feet. And if you'd like, you can bend the elbows, then folding gently at the hip, letting that heart center move towards both feet. Breath moving in and breath moving out. Maybe even releasing the tension from the neck and head. You might create some gentle yeses and gentle nos. Eventually finding your way back up. Inviting the other leg to move out and the other the bent knee to come to rest on the inside of the outstretched leg. As you feel ready, if you'd like to move this further, folding gently at the hip, moving into a one-legged seated forward fold. Letting the heart center move towards the top of the leg. And the hands rest on the leg or beside the leg or on the foot. Breath moving in and breath moving out. In your own time, finding your way back. You will come to lying down on the mat. So you're welcome to go lengthwise on your mat, continuing to keep your knees bent. You can let your hands assist you in guiding back. Resting on the mat. You might take a moment, feeling it beneath you, feeling it under your feet, under your back, your shoulders, and your head. Feeling the floor beneath you. As you feel ready, you're welcome to let the arms move out into a T formation, letting the knees fall to the side into a gentle supine twist. If you'd like, you can turn the head opposite direction of the knees and gaze out over your opposite hand. Breath moving in and breath moving out. Eventually finding your way over to the other side. Letting the knees fall to the opposite side. And letting the head move opposite of the knees. Noticing any sensations through the hips, the rib cage, the lower back. The chest, the lungs, the shoulders, the neck. Breath moving in and breath moving out. Sometimes we need reminders to breathe. When we get caught up in the headspace or the headlines with the fears and the worries, we can forget to breathe. When our mind takes us into the past or into what to do next, we forget to breathe. So every time you bring yourself back to the present moment and back to your breath, you're breathing, which is allowing that blood flow to go to all the places it needs to, and to exhale out the tensions and the toxins that the body holds. So you're welcome to continue to find your way back to center, And we'll move into rest form or Shavasana, the last yoga practice of the session, where you can continue to lie on your back, or you can stretch out your legs. You can lie on your side or whatever form feels best to you. You might want to find a blanket or pillow or an eye mask to make yourself comfortable for the last few minutes of the yoga practice. So just taking the last few minutes to find a comfortable place to lie down. Letting all the tension release from the hands and the feet, from the neck and the head, from the arms and the legs, from the chest, from the back, from the abdomen, from the hips, from the pelvis. And just releasing the tension anywhere else you're still holding tension. You're welcome to breathe into those spaces and exhale out. You don't have to be doing anything else. Just noticing your breath. Noticing any sensations that feel pleasant to you as you're just being. Taking a breath in, breathing in light and energy, and exhaling out any tension, stress, or worries. You're welcome to begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, bending the knees, and finding your way over to your side. You might let your head rest on your arm and your knees up towards your chest. You might pause here a moment. Just noticing your breath. Feeling the floor beneath you. Support you, hold you, and cradle you. then as you feel ready, inviting the hands to help press you back up into seated form. You're welcome to pause here a moment and just notice if there's been any shift since the beginning of the practice. Maybe in your thoughts, maybe in your feelings. Maybe in your breath. And if not, that's okay too. You're welcome to check back in using your creative expression. You might go back to your colors and your drawing and move out whatever you're noticing now, just from a place of observation, just for you, for a place of awareness to see even visually what you're feeling and how that moves out now as a before and after. But I just want to thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this yoga practice, whether you are watching it now with me or you're watching it later. Thank you for being a part of this yoga journey and letting me be a part of it with you. I'd like to end my practice with saying namaste, which just simply means the light in you brings out the light in me. And there's a namaste prayer that I really enjoy saying at the beginning of my 8-week sessions and at the end, so I'd like to say it today. I honor the place in you where the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you that is of love, of light, of hope, and of peace. And when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. So continue to take all the time you need to check back in, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.